हाँ मम्मा, मैं नेक्स्ट टाइम YouTube वाली रेसिपी अच्छे से फॉलो करूँगा. हाँ, सॉरी. हैप्पी बर्थडे वंस अगेन मॉम. लव यू. बाय.
Apologies in the early morning.
So it's mom's birthday today. I
Oh,
thought I'll make a special dish for her. I think I did a pretty bad job, but she was sweet enough to say that it was great.
there's so much effort and love goes into the preparation of food, whether at home or in a restaurant. And I never like people to complain about food.
You've never complained about food?
Maybe I should tell you about something interesting that happened once. I love eating and drinking, although it shows up in my weight. And I love all dishes, all cuisines. And I've eaten at famous restaurants around the world. My favorites being in Japan. The food there is splendid, but also there's an atmosphere of good behavior and culture. One thing I really dislike, I'm allergic to in fact, is people being impolite to waiters. If anyone with me is impolite, I actually strike the person off my friends list. A customer has every right to express his or her views about a food item and whether they liked it. I don't think they have a right to be impolite. And this attitude actually comes partly from what happened at home. Our mothers cooked wholesome, nice food, tasty food for the family, and you ate what was served to you. You know, you enjoyed it because it was so tasty. But even if you didn't like an item, you wouldn't complain because that would be disrespectful. And if there was a particular item that you were not so fond of, you could avoid a second helping. But you would, in any case, I think, enjoy the home food because it was so good. Another interesting aspect was that we not say please and thank you to our mothers. That would have been takalluf, a show of unnecessary hypocrisy. And the same attitude extended to food cooked at home by the cook. I would enjoy it, praise it occasionally, and never complain. One day at lunch, my wife had a work meeting. So I went to the kitchen where Ratna had cooked the lunch and kept it in bowls. And I first served myself some delicious looking vegetable pulao, which typically I love eating with curd or with a raita. And next to this was another bowl which had something white in it, which to me looked like raita. So I ladled 3 tablespoons of that onto my vegetable pulao and sat down happily to lunch. But unhappily, the pulao was not quite as tasty as usual. And in fact, the raita was a bit sticky. So I thought of asking Ratna whether she had experimented with something new, but then I felt she might be embarrassed, so I desisted. I ate slowly, unlike my usual hungry gulping, and finished the lunch. I didn't really enjoy it much, and I went back and kept the plate in the kitchen. By this time, my wife's meeting had got over, so she served her lunch and came and sat with me. And I mentioned to her that the pulao and raita were not as tasty as they usually are. And she said, "But there is no raita today." And I said, "But I served myself 3 tablespoons of raita." And she looked quite surprised and she called Ratna and asked her what was in the bowl that I had served. And Ratna informed her that it was batter for the uttappam that she was going to make. It was whitish jowar atta and rice atta. And that uncooked batter is what I had served onto my vegetable pulao. And my wife held her head in her hands and screamed, "You've eaten the raw batter for the uttappam along with your vegetable pulao," thinking that it is raita. "Why didn't you ask Ratna? She had kept plain curds for you." So my defense that one doesn't complain about home food, one just has what is set in front of you, didn't cut much ice. In fact, it made her much angrier. And then she began worrying that I might fall ill because I had had uncooked batter. But nothing happened to me, except, of course, for the scolding from the wife.
As Franz Kafka said, as long as you have food in your mouth, you answered all questions for the time being.
We'll be back next week with the next episode. Please like and comment below. And if you like a lot, do share.
Also, subscribe to our channel Qisse so that you don't miss out on any Qissa by the OG.
YOE,
What's YOE?
years of experience.